All right, this video is over section 4.3, rational equations. To start off, a rational equation is an equation with one or more rational expression, aka fractions. An extraneous solution is a potential solution that does not check. So when you solve, it's a solution, but when you go back and plug it in, it does not work. Oops, I wrote the wrong thing. That does not check. Okay, great. So this first one we're going to solve is 3 over y plus 4 over 3 equals 1. And so the least common denominator that we need to multiply by is 3y. And we're going to do that on both sides. So when we do that on the left side, we're going to have 3y over y plus 12y over 3 is equal to negative 3y. When we reduce, we get 9 plus 4y equals negative 3y. Subtract 4y. We get 9 equals negative 7y. And we divide by negative 7. And we get y equals negative 9 over 7. We do need to check our solution to make sure it's not extraneous. So I'll be doing this mostly in the calculator, but I'll write it out for the sake of the problem. So we're going to have 3 over negative 9 over 7 plus 4/3 should be, let me put a question mark, equal to negative 1. And I would most likely just type this in my calculator, but it does end up working out. So really quick, if we were to divide 3 by 9 over 7, we would have negative, let's see, flip it, we would have negative 21 over 9, which is negative 7/3. Oops. Plus 4/3, which would give us negative 3/3, which is negative 1. So it does check out. Again, I would use my calculator. All right, for this next problem, we have 5 minus 8 over 2, or 5 minus 8 over x plus 2 equals 4x times x plus 2. So we are going to multiply both sides by x plus 2. I don't have a ton of space, but I don't want to rewrite it. Okay, so we're going to multiply that out. We're going to have 5 times x plus 2 minus 8 times x plus 2 over x plus 2 equals 4x times x plus 2 all over x plus 2. When we simplify, we get 5 times x plus 2 equals, minus 8, because these cancel, equals 4x, because these cancel. When we solve, we get 5x plus 10 minus 8 is equal to 4x. I'm going to subtract 5x and combine like terms. So I get 2 is equal to negative x. And when I divide, I get x equals negative 2. Now we need to check our answer. And very quickly, we're going to see we have 5 minus 8 over negative 2 plus 2 is equal to 4 times negative 2 over negative 2 plus 2. So very quickly, we're going to see that this answer is extraneous because we cannot have a 0 in the denominator. So the solution set is just the empty set. Oops. So empty. No real number will work in there. You could write no solution as well. All right, for the next one, we are going to multiply both sides by x squared. And we multiply that out, we're going to have x squared plus 6x squared over x equals 16x squared over x squared. And when we simplify, we're going to be left with x squared plus 6x is equal to 16. I'm going to subtract 16 x squared plus 6x minus 16 equals 0. Now we could do a lot of things. We could complete the square. We could use the quadratic formula. This one factors very nicely, so I'm going to factor. So when I factor x squared plus 6x plus 16, or minus 16, I get x times x. 8 times 2. I need a plus 6x, so I'm going to have plus 8 minus 2. And then I'm going to have x plus 8 equals 0, or x minus 2 equals 0 by the zero product property. So my solutions be negative 8 or 2. And I need to check that those work and are not extraneous. So for the negative 8, we're going to have 1 plus 6 over negative 8 is equal to, with the question mark, 16 over negative 8 squared. And when I do that math, I think it checks out. I'll check a little bit closer in a second. And then for the 2, I'm going to have 1 plus, oh, you know what, yeah, that's right. 1 plus 6 over 2 equals, with the question mark, 16 over 2 squared. And this one a lot quicker checks out. We're going to have 3 plus 1 is 4, and then 16 divided by 4 is 4. That one's a little bit easier to check out. Oops. So these are both solutions because they both check. All right, last one is a little complicated. Off to the side, let's factor x squared minus x minus 6. When we factor that, it's going to be x times x and negative 3 times positive 2. So that's going to help us when we multiply. So we do need to multiply both sides by x minus 3 and x plus 2. Just to save space, I'm not going to write all that out, but we're multiplying this whole side and the right whole side by x minus 3, x plus 2. Okay, so it's going to get a little crazy, but we're going to have 6 times x minus 3 times x plus 2 all over x plus 2 minus 20x times x minus 3 times x plus 2 all over, and I'm going to write that in factored form, x minus 3 times x plus 2 equals x times x minus 3 times x plus 2 all over x plus 2. Now we can kind of cancel some stuff out, so I'm going to cancel these two out, both of these out, and that one out. And I'm left with 6x minus 18. I'm going to go ahead and distribute as I go. Minus 20x equals x squared minus 3x. I'm going to move everything to the right side, so that's going to leave me with 0 equals x squared. Let's see, this gives me negative 14, so if I add that, that will give me plus 11x plus 18. And I don't think that factors. Let me go back just to make sure I'm doing this right so I don't mess anything up. I probably already did. Okay, so here I'm going to have negative 14x minus 18 is equal to x squared minus 3x. I'm going to add 14x and add 18. like I did something wrong. So I'm going to have 0 equals x squared plus 11x plus 18. Oh yeah, that'll work. So this will factor into x times x. We want to multiply to get 18, add to get 11, so we're going to have 9 and 2. So our first solution would be -9, our second would be -2, but we do need to check them. So when I check -9, we're going to have 6 over -9 plus 2 minus 20 times -9 over -9 squared minus -9 minus 6 equals, we're checking, so question mark, -9 over -9 plus 2. And that's a lot of math. I would use my calculator, but this one does work. So I'm going to check here. I'm going to do the same thing with -2, so this would be 6 over -2 plus 2. I can go ahead and stop here because I know I'm going to get a 0 on the denominator. So my only solution for this problem would be x equals -9, and that leaves me that x equals -2 is an extraneous solution.